it recently. The vast majority of law school graduates in a handful of liberal states were actually foreign nationals. Chinese people, Russian people, Turkish people, Saudi Arabians coming to the United States to get law degrees. Well, guess what fucking law they're studying, Vince?
What?
American law. Why is a foreigner coming to get a law degree in the United States only to then leave the United States to go practice law? What sense does that make? It makes no sense until you start to think about how they're using that education. They use it abroad to find the loopholes in our American laws that allow them to have more success with their foreign operations. But then there's a second contingent of people who come here and stay here so that they can essentially become the senior echelon members of society in the medical practice, in the legal practice, in engineering practices. And the whole reason they're doing that is so that they can become even more valuable to their home country. This is one thing Americans do understand that we choose to not reflect upon. If you take an American out of the United States and you drop their ass in Canada, what do they call themselves, Vince? An American?
American, yeah.
Drop their ass in Spain, what do they call themselves?
American.
Drop their ass in fucking Turkey, what do they call themselves?
American.
So guess what happens when you drop a Chinese in America? Guess what they call themselves?
American.
Chinese. Right? We forget that. We forget that simple truth. Yes, we were a country built on the back of refugees. We were. The Statue of Liberty says, "Bring me your weak."
So, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Kakadash, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings to you sincere Akim out there pushing the truth across the four corners of earth. And that whole channel is very interesting because they go into the intricacies of basically people getting over the border and, setting up shop, which is very popular now. You got a lot of that going on. And basically, we know that it's all part of Esau's game of problem, reaction, solution. And later on in the interview, I listened to it the first time. I should have marked it, but he said something interesting. He says all these other nations, they hate us, but they love to come in and do business. And it made me think of the scriptures because ultimately this place is about to get locked down. This is Revelation 18 and 9. Matter of fact, let's start at Revelation 17 and 16. 17 and 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the horse sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her naked, and the desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. And all through NATO and the EU, right, all through these European countries, you're seeing an influx of different people come in. And like you said, you have a lot of them who they're at anchor point, kind of like when you read the story of Haman. Haman was an Amalekite, a descendant of Agag, right? He was an Agagite who was a descendant of Amalek, right? But he was in Persia. He was in a high up position, right, trying to leverage his position to take out the Israelites, which it backfired on him. The Lord set him up. And now all these other nations, they're basically doing the same thing. The Chinese come over, they send certain people who are because they don't just send anybody over. You do have the lower levels of them, but for the most part, when they come over, they're coming over to do business. Right? A food restaurant, students, which, when they come over, they come in groups, they all study together, they take the test together, they, take notes on this when you look at how they test in China, it'll be like it'll be hundreds of them. The average American, man, is so dumbed down, man. Over there, they learn stuff at a younger age, um, more maturity to things. They still have some Eastern customs, basically. And that's why all these different nations who come over here, they advance. All right? China, India, same with them. They come over and they jump into, the medical field or technology, and they advance, right? Because they were raised up and trained up to do that, and then sent over, and then they have sponsors as well. Yeah, America's gotten very soft and weak. It's in the early days. Um, it was bullets flying over where the border's going to be, and that's why the Rio Grande ultimately became, the natural border ultimately became the border, right? Because Mexico, they had way more than that. All right, the Spanish, or the Mexicans under the Spanish, but it's the same thing. All right, it was bullets flying over there. It was bullets flying over the northern border, you know. And now it's just like, oop. But that's this place, man. You see all these people, multitudes, nations, tongues, right? They speak whatever language. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And that's these other nations who are in league with America. For the Most High hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And that's what we're watching now, man. The words of the Lord are being fulfilled about this place. We're reaching that time, that appointed time, where like it says, bounds that this place cannot pass. All right, the woman which thou sawest is the great city which reigneth over the kings of earth. Yep, if you've been following along, then you know that. All right, and then jump to Revelation 18. And I'm going to start at verse 5. Yeah, there's a threshold here, man. You got a lot of, they're trying to point the finger at Diddy, which, Diddy, he did a lot. But he's small. He's small potatoes to all the things that they have. All right, the real trafficking and he just brushed shoulders with some of the people, who are lower level into that stuff. But you have to remember, this is multinational business going on, and they just put him as the face. All right, Revelation 18:5. Yeah, all those clips of him, saying stuff on interview, they all just boop, 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 right up on the internet. The media is definitely controlled, man. Which he's not innocent. Scriptures say, he that touches pitch shall not be innocent. So, hey, all you Jakes who you took that bag, you did what you did behind the scenes, eventually it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. Let this be another example. All you sellouts waiting to cut, this is what happens in the end. You don't walk away free. You don't walk away winning. You don't walk away with a good name. Verse 6, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. All right, and we know that I'm going to get that next. The time's coming where this place is going to be locked down. All right, food is going to be scarce. I would imagine gas and all these other resources are going to be scarce. And if the Lord is not with you, you're going to be another person, laid on the ground. Right? Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Most High who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth who have who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, shall bewail her and lament for her. So first they're gonna hate the whore, but then when they burn her, they're gonna bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. You know? So it's a love-hate thing. They love this whore. They love she opens her legs up. They love they can come in and do business and get rich. And this is the place that has basically has control over the global currency. They set, the standard for every other currency in the world, which is slipping away as these other nations are getting stronger. And now she's they see her burning, because this is after the missiles and all that stuff, and they bewail her. Right? And basically in that video, that's what those two guys were discussing. All these nations who come here, they hate America, they hate Americans, but they want the resources, they want the goodies, they want to live, deliciously, like you said. All right. They came here with dreams and hopes. Like I see these Venezuelans at the store at the Walmart. They just be carefree. They just you know what I'm saying. They ain't looking over their shoulder, nothing. They good. We got our stamp card. We got this that. We good. Having no idea. Right? Nahum 3:1. Woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. The noise of a whip, and the noise of the rattling of the wheels, and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots. The horsemen lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain, and a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses. So it's a lot of stuff coming. A lot of people were brought here for judgment or salvation. Right? Either or. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Most High of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness and the nations thy shame. And that's what you're about to see. You're seeing the beginning stages of it now, but we're really going to see it. Right? As they drink of the same cup that they've doled out. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. And it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee and say, Nineveh is laid waste. All right, this place is Nineveh. This place is Babylon. This is prophecy. Who will bemoan her? Whence shall I seek comforters for thee? Art thou better than the populace? No, that was situated among the rivers that had the waters round about her, whose rampart was the sea, and her wall was from the sea. From sea to shining sea. Yeah, you got everybody pulling up, man. And this is going to be the final battle royale. All right, I keep hitting this scripture. I know I probably did a couple of lessons on it, but I got to, man, because you really have a lot of people here who are who are sent from somewhere else. All right, and these Edomites, they know that. That's why the scriptures say they shall regard neither kings nor governors. Excuse me. You know, behind the scenes, these conservative Edomites, especially, they're discussing this. Yeah, you go through a lot of videos on that channel, and they'll talk about that. Like, hey, man, these people that left us out here just to, as law enforcement, to fend for ourselves, man. They're barely paying us and shit, and they don't fund this stuff. You know, and just like Rome, what happened with Rome? It had a border issue. You had all these different tribes around it. You had all these different uprisings. Of course, you know, Jerusalem and all of the stuff that came with that was the same thing. Right? Corruption in high places. And that's basically what you see, man. Everybody's trying to skim off the top. Everybody's trying to get rich fast and get the fuck out of here. That's the plan. All right, over here in Chicago, what is it? Let me see. Pull that up real quick. I'm gonna close out Selected. Doing something in the background. Yeah, they're shutting down certain offices. Rothschild plans to shut Chicago office, move staff to New York. Rothschild and Co. plans to shut its Chicago office as the French firm shrinks its North American footprint. The firm will transfer staff from its West Wacker Drive office to New York, said one of the people, all of whom requested anonymity to discuss confidential information. Details include timing of the relocations and when the office will be closed couldn't immediately be learned. All right, senior Rothschild bankers currently based in Chicago include the head of the North American Media and Telecom Group, John, of course they're in the media, John Herbst, who is a partner, the banker/media family, who is a partner according to Financial Industry Regulatory Authority records. It says Rothschild recently closed its Miami office after opening just last year. So they will have 3 offices, New York, Los Angeles, and Boston. The firm has shrunk in North, so this place is shrinking. And a lot of these Edomites, they're selling and they're just getting up out of here. If you're in the know, then they know it's bunker time. All right, this is Jeremiah 51:14. It said, the Lord of hosts has sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. All right, and who is it going to lift up a shout against? Hey, verse 13, O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thy end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. All right, and that's what you see, man. Just this place is a multinational place, and it's about to be brought down through its own devices. So continue, man, to pray for the fall of Babylon. Continue to shout down this place. Shalom to the elect.